Will the clerk please call the roll?
Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Fleece.
Present.
Freeholder Gans.
Proud to be wearing green tonight.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tonelli.
Here.
Freeholder
Lead us in the pledge.
It's okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Bergen County is a place that has recognized and embraced the challenge of mental illness. It touches 1 in 5 families in the United States. It's an issue that we have to address, we have to embrace, and we have to continue to move forward. I am so proud to be here with all of you today for the support that we have gotten, and I know that we can make a difference here in Bergen County, and we do every day. I work with some marvelous people. I'm supported by some marvelous people who absolutely care to make a difference here in Bergen County. So I applaud them, and I thank them all for all of the support that they give to each and every one of us. I'm very proud to now bring up a colleague of mine, Michelle Hart-Lachlan. She is our mental health coordinator. And I want to recognize Jose Ortiz. This gentleman is the lawyer that heads up our mental health law project, and I want to thank him for all the work that he does. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all of your support that you show us every day. May is a time that the nation uses to recognize the importance of mental health. As Nancy referenced, we do it every day in Bergen County, and we do it together as a partnership. And we're moving forward today and every day to make the world a better place for those individuals who suffer from the disease of mental illness. Because mental illness is a disease that should be treated just like any other. We hope that through our efforts, our collaborative efforts, that we will get to a point in Bergen County where individuals who have a mental illness will be respected, treated with empathy and compassion. Tonight, I'm so honored this evening to introduce to you Jim and Heidi McCallum from Oakland, who have courageously agreed to come forward to talk personally about this issue that we're all so passionate about. And I just sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that mental health has touched your families in a profound way, and I know that this is a challenge for you to do this, but that you recognize the importance of bringing a voice to the disease of mental illness, so no other family has to go through what you're going through. So Heidi and Jim, thank you.
Yes. Joe?
Yes.
They're asking you a question.
Oh. Either way.
I'm Heidi McCallum, and I'm from Oakland, New Jersey. I'm a Bergen County resident. I grew up in Montvale and had my 3 kids here living in Oakland. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much, because I've gotten a lot of support here in Bergen County. My daughter has suffered from mental illness and suffered quite terribly since she was about 25, even before that. But I want to just mention, with this stigma-free aspect of this, my daughter, this is our flyer that we've been handing out. My daughter's been missing for 2 months now. She's 30 years old. She suffers from bipolar with schizoaffective, so she does get into a psychosis where she is not in reality. So we're very much afraid that's where she is. We don't know where she could be right now, so it's just a very, very terrible situation. But our community was so galvanized by her being missing, and I have to say, it was like we came out as a family. We came out as a family with a person suffering from mental illness, because there were people in my community who've known Meg since they were 30. She was little, and said, I had no idea that Meg suffered from mental illness. I had no idea that your daughter was hospitalized over and over. I had no idea that your daughter tried to take her life on several occasions. And there was a definite reason for that. The reason is you don't want people to know when you suffer from mental illness, and especially my daughter. She was, first time she got really sick, she was 25. And, wanted a future, wanted to be able to work, and felt very, very strongly about her privacy. And so she implored us to not discuss her mental illness, and we didn't. And it's a lot of work to keep it, from not talking about it. So we finally had to say, look, our daughter has mental illness and she's missing and we need your help. And people just rallied around us to help. Just in terms of the services that we've got here in Bergen County, Meg has been in Bergen Regional on many occasions, and I have to say that they have been, if it wasn't for Bergen Regional, Meg would have been potentially lost her life many years ago. They've helped us over and over. She's been into Bergen Regional many times. I will say that the problem with some problems with Bergen Regional and other services is that there's too much of a patchwork of services, and there are many times where Meg was falling through the cracks. For example, when you first get over a severe bout of psychosis or mental illness, you really need a tremendous amount of support. And Bergen Regional was able to give her the outpatient support she needed, but then there was this drop off. There was a point at which she could see a psychiatrist once a month. And there was no counseling available. So here's this woman who's suffering from pretty severe mental illness, who's only seeing a psychiatrist once a month, getting medication, and not being under anyone's care except for my husband and I and our family. So many times during her illness, it was us who were her major caregivers. Not that we minded, because we were always happy to do it. We're getting help now from our local police department, state missing persons. I just think that this case of my daughter, who's 30, shows that it is a struggle that doesn't end. You get out of the hospital, it doesn't stop there. People with mental illness need a lot of support in so many aspects of their lives, and that's why we came down tonight, just to share that. The other thing I did want to share too is as far as dealing with the police. Police have always been so helpful to us, but they really don't know a lot about mental illness, and they don't know a lot about symptoms and so forth, and I think that is one area that could be strengthened. And again, I think the stigma-free is really, really important. I do also want to mention another organization that helped us so much was NAMI. My husband and I were able to take the family-to-family NAMI course, and it educated us about our daughter's illness and taught us so much, and was a great support. So, I just, as I say, I just wanted to come down because it is a very important topic, and I appreciate all of your support and everything that you've all done for supporting mental illness services in the county.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is James McCallum, and I'm not a very good extemporaneous speaker like my wife is, and with great eloquence and heart she spoke on how this has affected us, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. Well, as you know, my daughter Meg has been missing for nearly 2 months now, and the pain, the anxiety, and the anguish is insufferable. She has used the Bergen Regional facilities numerous times, been a critical, though imperfect, resource for her in her mental health regime. My mother is in residence there. For years she was a housing authority resident, but mental health issues mandated her to Bergen Regional. I myself am a recovering alcoholic. In September I'll mark 10 years, God willing, and I've attended the Saturday afternoon circle meetings at Bergen Regional, and they have been an indispensable meeting in my sobriety and my recovery regime. attended NAMI meetings at Bergen Regional, and have found them to be a critical educational and support services to the caregivers of those afflicted with mental health issues. They're incredible people. It's an incredible program. And again, this whole idea about destigmatizing mental illness and bringing it into the limelight as any other type of an illness was an epiphany for me, even though I was going through all of the issues myself. I've also been a volunteer at the Religious Society of Friends Shelter in New York City, participant in the New York Homeless Coalition, provides a bed for 12 homeless men and women 365 days a year. They do critical work, and a good percentage of the residents have mental health issues. If it was not for the bed, God knows where they would be. And I recently stepped down as the president of the St. Paul's Community Development Corporation in Patterson, a critical community agency that offered a 45-bed emergency men's shelter where substance abuse, incarceration, mental health issues figure in all the lives of many of the residents there. They offer one of the largest community pantries in Passaic County, feeding 500 families a week of groceries every week, AmeriCorps, Youth Build, Total Public Schools, and Next Step program. Each year we conduct a appointed time homeless census each January, the last week in January. And in the most bitter cold and on the meanest streets in this nation, we find mentally ill people in vestibules, in ATM lobbies, trying just absolutely desperate for critical care. I'm here tonight to advocate for the mentally ill population. It would seem that Bergen Regional is one of the last oases for services to the economically disadvantaged. We can't afford to have a society where with only those with the means have a right to mental health. The social cost of neglecting those who cannot afford private health care is significant. Our jails are filled with those who have mental health issues. Police agencies are strained by the need to apprehend people in psychotic situations, search and recover missing people. Our families are destroyed by the burden to fill the role as sole caregivers. Courts and school systems are overburdened with the expense of litigation and administering to the needs of mentally ill youth. Drug and alcohol addiction also has a tremendous cost in money and the quality of life and public safety of our county residents. I know you know all of this. I just wanted to reiterate how this issue has affected me and my family, and why the issue of mental health is more than a prescription for the latest medication. It's a significant public health and quality of life issue that affects all residents of Bergen County. Society is judged on how it cares for its most vulnerable people. Mental health problems are some of people suffering with mental health issues are some of our most vulnerable. Hope to God that people here tonight do not have to confront the reality of a missing child. With more attention, funding, and oversight, these issues hopefully can be prevented. Thank you very much.
May I have a motion to take Resolution 455-15 out of order?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Will the clerk please read the title, Resolution 455-15?
Resolution 455-15 is a resolution recognizing May 2015 as Mental Health Month.
May I have a sponsor?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, we have discussion by the board. Would anyone like to speak to the resolution? Freeholder Gantz.
Let me speak to it from personal experience. My son was a combat veteran, combat engineer in Afghanistan with a close head injury. He came back and it was obvious that he suffered from mental illness. He required drugs for the pain. He required sleeping pills to be able to sleep. And eventually the demons caught up with him and he committed suicide with a gun in February of 2 years ago. Here's the sad part. He came back and he was offered the opportunity to get help in the Army, but he didn't want his file endorsed on the jacket that he suffered from depression or from mental illness, because that would have effectively ended his Army career. I can only tell you as a father, this was heartbreaking, but it goes one step further. He finally decided to apply for assistance, and the Army was good about giving him the medication, but the earliest that they were able to fit him in to their program was 18 months. So my son Scotty, who would be 31 in July, has a 2-year-old son who is celebrating his birthday this week, and my heart is with you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Freeholders there?
There's nothing else to say. I'm so proud of the steps that so many in this county have taken to bring this issue to the forefront. And it is the commitment of all of us. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I will, because we are all so committed to making sure that the support is there for these programs, that this is something that is a priority in our budget, and that we make sure that we are continuing to draw attention to the need for these services. And I want to thank all of the individuals in county government who put so much energy into making sure that this community is cared for. And my prayers are with you, and I hope for your daughter's speedy return.
All right, do you want me to read what I have first and then call?
Thank you.
Anyone else? This is something very close to my heart, too, because I have a son with Asperger's syndrome, and I know what it's like, to deal with situations. And in 2012, Freeholder Gans and I worked in a bipartisan way with the Freeholder Board to restore previous county executives' proposed 25% cut to aid of mental health in our budget. It was going to cut 25%. This year's budget includes increased funding for aid to mental health, also money for new initiatives such as Hoarding Go Team, emergency preparedness, awareness, and stigma-free situations. It is so important to raise awareness and reduce stigma. Bergen County has some of the best mental health services in the state and the county and the country, thanks to community partners and for strong advocates as those of you who are here. I'm proud to be a very strong supporter of mental health, both in the legislature and now as a freeholder, because we have got to make people aware. As Dr. Mangieri said, 1 in 5 in our society suffers from some degree of mental illness. I want to thank Michelle Laughlin, who is the Director of the Division of Mental Health. I want to thank my friend Dr. Mangieri, who is the Director of the Department of Health. I want to thank Jose Ortiz, the Director of Bergen County Mental Health Law Project. And thanks to Maria Aberastori, Chair of the Bergen County Mental Health Board. And thanks to all of the partners, agencies, and the community. And thanks to all the consumers, allies, and advocates for their passion and advocacy. And we have to make more people aware. And so, as I said, you know that this is a very, very large priority of the members of this board. And now I'd like our county executive, James Tedesco III, to come forth.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I'm going to face the audience, if that's okay with all of you. Tonight, I have a resolution in proclaiming Mental Health Month 2015, but let me just take a minute to talk. I was very proud and honored to be the elected county official, county executive. And one of the platforms that I ran on was keeping Bergen Regional Medical Center open. And based on the testimony that I heard tonight, and probably testimony is the right word, words that I heard tonight, make me know that I made the right choice. And as you all know, I will be naming a committee very shortly to start to put a plan in place to decide how we're going to continue to keep that open and how we're going to run it. And it was encouraging for me to hear how well the services are that we provide there, but also there's room for improvement. And that's what it's all about. It's about making sure that we can do everything we can in order to provide the highest level of service that we're able to provide. And you even talked about the expansiveness of the services there. It's just not the mental health aspect, but we have the long-term care portion of the hospital. We have drug and alcohol programs there. The complex is a unique complex for us here in Bergen County, but it's something that's vital. And as my colleagues on the Freeholders board have supported me in that effort to ensure that Bergen Regional stays open, stays vibrant, and provides the services to the people that need it the most. And there's no other facility in the state of New Jersey, if not the Northeast, that provides the comprehensive services that Bergen Regional Medical Center supplies. And that's why it's so important for us to have support from folks like you in this endeavor to keep that open and to find the right mix and have the right services being provided there, because it truly is a safety net for the most vulnerable and the most needy. The other thing that we talked about was the stigma behind the disease. And, we're not going to recognize an individual tonight. I do all the time. But I talk about how one person can make a difference. One person with an idea can make a difference for so many. And though we're not going to recognize that tonight, it's part of my resolution for that one person that did that. But it talks about how in our society we can do things to change the way this country is, the way this state is, the way this county is, the way our local communities are. It started with one person in one community, and it's now spread throughout Bergen County, and it's spread throughout the state, and hopefully it spreads throughout the country. But again, one person making a difference. So it doesn't have to be groups and groups of people. One person, caring, having an idea. So that's what we need. We need all of you. Today, in this chamber, we held a hearing for seniors to talk about the needs that they have in Bergen County. A public hearing for them to talk about what they need. Tonight we're here to pay tribute to the month of May for mental health awareness and mental health, but it's about all of you coming out on the night to care about something important. And so let's use that. Let's work that. Let's take that and continue to talk and to encourage other municipalities and other counties to do some of these things. And then we can all go home and feel good about making a difference, because we have something that other people can use. And I'm happy to say that Bergen Regional Medical Center is going to stay open. It's going to provide the services that we need for this county. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it the right way. So, and as I said before, that's not without the help of my colleagues behind me, the Freeholder Board. Every member of this Freeholder Board is in support of the position that I've taken about that facility. And so we're going to make it better than it is today, and we're going to keep it open. So in recognition of Mental Health Month 2015, B4, Stage 4. And this is a pretty long proclamation, so I don't want to read it, but I'd ask Dr. Mangieri to come up, and I'll present it to Dr. Mangieri. See,
I guess I don't have a choice.
No, you don't. So let me just read the last paragraph. It says, whereas the County of Bergen Division of Mental Health maintains and fosters an extensive array of community partnerships to sustain a comprehensive community mental health system that is responsive to the community and residents' need and directly offers compassionate and expert guidance to residents who require assistance in navigating the complex mental health system. And whereas on May 21st, 2014, following the great work performed by the Paramus Stigma Free Initiative, the Bergen County Freeholders passed Resolution 595-14, designating the County of Bergen a stigma-free zone, leading the way to the state of New Jersey. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, James J. Tedesco III, Executive of the County of Bergen, in the state of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2015 Mental Health Month. You want to do yours first or want to do that?
Okay. Because I have to do Marie.
We got everybody?
We got everybody.
That's right, here we go. Together. Smile.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second, and for Resolution 455-15, may we have the roll call?
Certainly. Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gantz?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tonelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Boss?
Yes. I know there are quite a few people who would like an opportunity to speak on this issue, and we will give you time momentarily during our public comment session, okay? So hold your thoughts, and we'll be back. I would like to call Maria Avera-Story, Chair of the Bergen County Mental Health Board, to accept the resolution designating May as Mental Health Month. Okay, Maria? Maria has been such an advocate. I can't tell you, in my 4 years on the Freeholder Board, I think we have probably made every single meeting, or just about. And she has been there as a staunch advocate for mental health issues. And you couldn't have a better advocate than Maria. I am very, very proud of her and all that she does. I was fortunate to serve on the Board of Social Services. Hopefully I'll get back there again after my term as chair. But we have some wonderful people who work in the county. As you saw, Dr. Mangieri and Maria and Michelle, and you know, it's just amazing. And it's so important that we remember not only this month of May, but all year long, that we work for mental health issues and to make sure that we take stigmatizing away from anybody who suffers any kind of mental challenge. And I think at some point we all do, I think, at some point. And so please, we have to teach the public to be tolerant and to be observant and to not be critical of issues that in their own family they probably have experienced. And you can't hide things. You can't hide things. So Maria, because this is such a passion of mine, I am so happy to present you with this resolution recognizing May as Mental Health Month. And the Board of Chosen Freeholders declares that May 2015 is Mental Health Month, and we will give you this. I will read it because it's very long.
Yes, I will. On behalf of the Mental Health Board, I thank the county executive and I thank the Freeholder Board for all the support that they have shown over the almost 6 years that I have been a member of the Mental Health Board. You referenced the 25% cut to mental health that was restored. That was an effort that was only achieved by different systems in the county working with the Freeholders Board to achieve that. And destigmatizing mental health and issues of mental health, they transcend systems. So I thank you for your support. This year, I think our mental health first aid training is this year's initiative, and I thank you for supporting that. And I believe that this training is going to make tremendous strides to ending the stigma that prevents people from seeking treatment for their mental illness. So thank you. I don't fight it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Will the clerk please read the minutes to be approved?
Also, we have copies of the.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
We have copies of the resolution up here on the table in front, so that anybody who would like to take some material, please feel free to take it at the end of the meeting. And now, will we please have the meetings to be approved, the minutes to be approved?
Minutes to be approved are April 15th, 2015 work session. Absent freeholders were Felice and Zor.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimously approved.
I have no idea that you.
Will the clerk please read?
I can't say I. I could say
You were
I was somewhere else.
That's right.
I was maybe United States, but
Okay.
let's try to make it.
Will the clerk read?
Oh, no, open the meeting public.
Sorry?
That was Steve.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We will now have the hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect. The board attorney will keep the time, and when the time of the speaker expires, the timekeeper will announce the time has expired. Hopefully, if you wish to speak, you filled out one of these cards. If you haven't, you still have time to do it. And so, Maria Fuchita? No?
Yes,
Yes?
just coming up.
Okay. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
F like father, U, C-H-I, D like David, A.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
I'm really happy to have this opportunity to thank you, our county executive and freeholders, for the mental health services available to us in Bergen County. First of all, I just have to identify myself as a family member. We have a son diagnosed with a mental illness. In a long journey towards our son's recovery, our family have made use of various services, and we feel very grateful for the benefit that we have received. We really owe our son's stability to the services offered in Bergen County. We started with Bergen Regional, of course, numerous times, and at some point we realized that there are other services in the community. And so we looked around and tried to make use of them. Thanks to the Law Project, our son received SSI and related benefits. Along the way, we have also made use of the services of Friendship House. Our family continues to rely on the help and support through intensive family support services, and our son is still a regular at the drop-in center. For most of the time, however, over many years, our son attended Vantage Health System. The counselors at Vantage often worked one-on-one with him, day in and day out, year in and year out. They never gave up on him until ever so gradually he became more stable and was able to return to school. Dedicated counselors have helped and supported him every step of the way towards recovery. Our son finally received his bachelor's and master's degrees. He's now employed and is in the process of working on his application for certification as an art therapist. He continues to receive outpatient services at Vantage, and this outpatient service is absolutely critical to his ongoing stability. It has been a long uphill journey all along the way, but it could not have happened without the help, the commitment, and dedicated support of counselors in our mental health system. Last but not least, I would like to thank our Mental Health Services Coordinator, Michelle Hart-Laughlin, for the passion, the enthusiasm she brings to her job. The quality of our mental health system is due in large part to her ongoing effort and that of her staff in trying always to bring added value to our mental health system. Thank you again for this opportunity to express our thanks and appreciation.
Thank you. Mary Ann Uzi.
Chairwoman Voss and freeholders, I must confess that back in May of 2013, when I suggested to Paramus Mayor Richard LaBarbiera that we make Paramus the first stigma-free zone in Bergen County, I had even loftier goals. Exactly a year later, when I appeared before this board, you responded by declaring Bergen County New Jersey's first stigma-free county. One of my goals was met. It is so exciting that during this past year, 25 towns in Bergen County have declared themselves stigma-free and are working. And more importantly, they're working hard to make their resolutions a reality. Each week I receive calls and emails from strangers asking how to bring stigma-free to their communities. This says to me that we're not alone in wanting to end the stigma that has for way too long plagued those with mental illness. I recently attended a very interesting event where another mental health advocate made a point of saying that stigma-free programs aren't really dealing with the problem of the severely mentally ill. He sort of brushed off our work as fluff and feel-good work. Needless to say, I was quite taken aback. I took some time to process his comments and must admit he certainly does have a valid point about the fact that we're not addressing the critical needs of the severely mentally ill. However, I beg to differ that what we are doing to end stigma is fluff and feel-good work. If we don't change our thinking and approach in dealing with those with mental illness, we'll never stand the chance of attaining all the help needed by those who are severely mentally ill. Our entire culture of how we perceive, react to, and help the mentally ill must be changed. And I believe it can start with the ending of stigma. Thank you.
Paul Nichols.
Good evening. Hello, Paul Nichols, as you know, Nickels. You know what? I'm very proud to be a part of the ambassadorship for Bergen County to make a town stigma-free. Because I'm not scared to say I have mental illnesses. And I've been where I've been off my meds and been gone in my mind for days. And it's, before I was coming here, there was a kid named Justin who was missing. And this was the first time I dealt with that. He was autistic out of Lyndhurst, and a friend of mine got me on Facebook and said, I'm emailing you flyers, get them out right away. And they actually found him in Paramus, he had autism, and as I was handing out flyers, I went to the transit station, and they had just a name of this guy. No description, no picture, no nothing. So, I mean, but I'm glad that Bergen County is stigma-free. And I was first, as I've spoke before a couple months ago on when she first went missing, when someone brought it to my attention. We just want to try and get her home safely. I would hope that the agencies that are involved would all work together and find her quickly. Good news, as you all know, Pastor Don, we have our new thing over at our church. The River Mission at Church on the Green is stigma-free. And it was very, when I first got the email from someone for the family, I was like, here we go again, and it broke my heart. But I had to do what I had to do, and I just hope and pray that we can all find her. And I'll end on this, because I know there's a lot of people that want to speak. The new guide is out, so I will hand this to someone over here. And thank you, Mr. County Executive, and thank you all for always listening to me. And the Mental Health Board meeting, I go every month. I feel so comfortable there, as much as I feel here. Thank you so much.
Okay, Joseph Gussie.
Good night. I'd like to start off by saying that I'd like to see Paul serving on the Mental Health Board one of these days. I came to mention the Day of Shock. I understand it's not on tonight's agenda. Next time I'll give you more lead time when I have a suggestion for a resolution. Mad Pride is one of the causes that I take up, and it's related to stigma. Mad Pride addresses the bigotry that people who have been through the mental health system face in the legal sphere, in the workplace, and in the social sphere. And it works to try to get people to see mad individuals as equals to everyone else. So July is Mad Pride Month, and I'm hoping when July rolls around that I can tell you more about it.
Salvatore Moretti.
I'm a Paramus resident of 57 years, and I moved to Paramus after 10 years in Demarest and 8 years in Hesburgh Heights. I have a concern with respect to taxation, real estate taxation, in respect of veteran status. And I have addressed the municipal council in this regard, and also now noted here. I believe that my position as years ago during World War II was a rather unique one. There was a certain amount of controversy involved. I had mentioned to the assessor and the council that I was in Zurich, Switzerland, with the well-known psychologist of that period, Carl Jung, and that I was also in the Vatican with Ezra Pound, and of course did a good deal of traveling. That's rather unusual for someone that young, and I think it, being born in New Jersey, it resulted in my getting a degree in psychology from a Washington University after 7 years of study, and getting a degree in law from a New York law school. I would think that the issue here addressed is probably, in the European sense, something that relates to mind-body dualism. I won't go into that. I hope you've all had an opportunity to read Kant's Critique of Pure Reason and his Kant's Critique of Practical Reason since we last met. My comments hitherto were, of course, related to George Hegel's dialectical materialism and dialectical idealism in the phenomenology of the mind. So, without more ado, I bid you adieu.
Right at 3 minutes, perfect. Is there anyone else who would like to speak about our mental health issues? Okay.
Sure. Scott Pruiksma, Pruiksma. I'm a councilman in the Borough of Middleland Park, Chairwoman Freeholders, County Executive. Just want to say thank you so much for supporting this initiative. We are starting with a mental health training in the Borough of Middleland Park on Monday and Tuesday with your finest. We are so thrilled. The High School Interact Club is going to be assisting us. We're putting together 20 listening ear liaisons for the community. And what we're going to do after this training is have the resources which you provide to be able to point people towards. So I want to thank you for not only giving us the tools for the training, but the follow-up resources afterwards. And one of the exciting things is one of our high school students is planning on going into the military, and we're hoping to give him some extra tools prior to his military experience. So we don't know where that's going to go, but again, I just want to thank you for your support of these initiatives.
I believe I saw another hand. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
I think I filled out one of those papers, but you didn't call me because I look like such a slob.
Are you Judy?
Yeah.
Okay. You just said general comment, and I wasn't sure where to put you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry I look like this, but I just got back from visiting my mom who had a stroke last week out in Pennsylvania, so I didn't, but we're all right. I want to thank you all, the state of New Jersey, everybody in this room that helps folks with a mental illness to get by each day. I'm a social worker. This year will be 40 years in the field. That's why I look like this. Otherwise, otherwise I'd have some money and be fancy. But at any rate, we won't go there. I thank you so much, though. The support of a mental illness is not something anyone asks for, and a part of me is very, very sad for the parents of people like me who, when we're ill, we don't think about anybody but us. It's one of the ugliest part of the illness, and I'm so, on behalf of people who have been ill and have terrific, loving parents, I am so sorry. I work with the self-help centers in Bergen County. There's one in Englewood where John Fashida's mom was telling about, and there's one in Hackensack, the On Our Own Self-Help Center. We've been around for 28 years and plan to be around 28 years more. So thank you so much for your support. It's wonderful to have a place where people with mental health and addiction problems can go, be accepted, welcomed, offered the opportunity to make a little money, cared about, encouraged by people who understand exactly what's going on. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak about mental health issues?
Jack.
Okay. My friend from Friendship House.
My name is Jack Doyle from Friendship House here in Hackensack. I just want to thank everybody. What an outstanding effort to have this kind of a forum and the culmination of exposing stigma and all of its harmful impacts and how we can all help to eliminate it. At Friendship House, we see this every day, particularly with our members. We are a pre-vocational and vocational agency and work very close with our members to gain skills. When they're ready to go out for a job and we are going to drive them in a van, some feel very uncomfortable to be going in a van with Friendship House because Friendship House is a mental health, and they feel because of the stigma that it will hurt their chances in getting a job. And sometimes we'll take them in an unmarked car. But that's just how people with mental illness live with this every day and how terrifying it is. So we see that this started out with some very small steps. Let's start a stigma-free campaign. And here we have 25, and it's growing, and it's getting bigger and more powerful. So the people who have mental illness know there are people there with a voice, and their voice is being heard, as we see so eloquently tonight. The people have spoken. So I want to thank the Freeholders, our county executive, and all of the county employees and the staff and the agencies. I think together we're making strides, and it's just going to get better and better, and someday we will have stigma-free. Thank you very much.
Jose Ortiz.
Thank you. I'm Jose Ortiz. I'm the director for the Mental Health Law Project for Bergen County. April of last year was when I was hired. I replaced the director, Ernie Villa, who was with the program for ever. Prior to coming here, I used to be the deputy director for Essex Newark Legal Services. I was the director there for 20 years. You have to realize that the Mental Health Law Project of Bergen County is very unique in the state of New Jersey and in the country. This was a program that was established in 1977. You guys were pioneers. Today, they're talking about in the legal services system of having that partnership between medicine and law and working together. You guys did this back in the 70s. In New Jersey, the Mental Health Law Project, there's a community mental health law project, but those offices cover 3 or 4 counties. You have one office that serves one county, its residents. In 2013, the law project, with 3 full-time attorneys and 1 part-time attorney, was able to get for Bergen County residents $433,000. Last year, which was a transition period, changing from the long-time director to a new director, we were able to obtain in Social Security benefits $340,000. And we've also helped in the courts in helping with domestic violence victims, preventing eviction. My first case when I got here was of a teacher, postal worker, who was evicted. I met the special civil court judge, introduced myself. She just happened to, this particular person that was evicted, go in front of him the next day. And he realized that she was suffering from mental illness. And what happened was, about 6 months earlier, her husband passed away. They were both postal workers. The medical plan was under the husband's name. The pension was under the husband's name. By him passing away, she was no longer getting her medication for bipolar. And there was no income coming in to pay the rent. She was evicted, owing 5 months back rent. We were able to go to court, stop the eviction, get the rent paid, got her benefits back, and she's back living in her apartment. So thank you for having the hindsight for establishing this great program.
Anyone else who wishes to speak on mental health issues? If not, we will take a short recess so our stenographer can rest her
Make a
fingers.
motion to close?
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are back in session, and I think that there are a few other people who would like to make some comments, and one of them is Scott Karuska. Okay, he stepped over it. Sorry. And Alan Kantrowitz.
Kantorwitz. ALLEN. I like what the county executive said about one person can make a difference. I've been in the hospitality industry for the last 25 years with hotels and airlines and convention and visitors bureaus. Most recently, I helped start up the Greater Newark Convention and Visitors Bureau and turned it into the second largest tourism organization in the state of New Jersey. I also started up the Long Island Convention Bureau from ground zero and also turned it into a second-tier city convention and visitors bureau. Living in Bergen County for the last almost 10 years, I've always thought, well, why doesn't Bergen County have a convention and visitors bureau? I recently saw an article that said tourism spending in New Jersey climbs to nearly $40 billion, even with the decline of the casinos. And when it showed a map, most of that money is not being spent in Bergen County. I had a vision, or tried to put together a vision, of going forth and seeing maybe it's a good idea that we at least start looking into the idea of attracting the tourism industry to Bergen County. We have all the qualities that most cities would love to have, the hotels, the attractions. In the future, I hope to be the person who leads that charge. to take it to the next level. Tourism is one of the top 10 industries in the United States, and it certainly should be represented here in Bergen County. As I learn more and more about how the county works, more and more I hope I can take it to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to just suggest that if you feel strongly about this, send a proposal to the county executive and to this board.
Will do.
Thank you.
If I could, Madam Chair?
Yes.
You raised a very interesting point. And in fact, you know we have an economic development corporation.
Correct.
And in fact, it's the county executive's vision. We've actually, that was part of the administrative code changes, where we now have that EDC reporting directly to the Department of Admin and Finance and to the county administrator and county executive directly. So he has he has a vision for the EDC to take EDC to the next level, and I think this piece actually might be a good part of that.
I've been in contact with the Bergen County Economic Development Corporation.
Sure.
In Newark, we started with the also BCDC, Brick City Development Corporation.
Yep.
What they did was they funded the Convention Bureau for 1 year in their offices until we achieved a dedicated tax from all 40 hotels in Newark and Elizabeth to start up the Convention Bureau. So if you stay in Newark tonight, you're going to pay 1.5% that will go directly to the CBD, which job is to promote the hotels and the attractions and such. There are many different ways to fund it, many different ways to get it started.
Right.
But any direction you want to send me, that's the direction I'll go.
Right. Well, as Freeholder Gans noted, if you could please send along your thoughts in the form of a letter or an email to the county executive, to myself, to the freeholders. That would be a great way to start, because it certainly sounds like we're in lockstep. I mean, because these are the types of things that we're thinking about, and moving EDC up to higher levels, and raising the bar.
Well, as somebody who only has 3 minutes here, I can tell you an engine for economic development is a Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's only going to bring positive information to. One of the things that also got me started was last time I Googled, events that were happening in Bergen County. The last update was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That just can't happen to a county as wealthy and as populous as Bergen is. I was talking with even friends today who don't even know all the benefits and services that Bergen County actually has.
Sure.
There should be a focal point where that usually an economic development corporation is one that helps bring business to your community. It doesn't necessarily talk to the tourism industry. It doesn't necessarily talk to meeting planners and tour operators and so on and so forth about all the benefits that this community has. But hopefully in the future we'll be able to get this going.
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Chuck Powers.
Chuck Powers, Tina, doesn't actually help us in terms of what you just heard, to be losing the IZOD Center, and I think you folks are well aware of that. There's something really transformative, potentially transformative, happening in Bergen County that I think that each of you really ought to take 20 to 25 minutes to find out about. When the Riverkeeper came to Bergen Grassroots and gave a really quite extraordinary speech describing sort of how he had gone from a position of rejecting altogether the idea of making the Hackensack from the Meadowlands to Oradell a Superfund site, and had decided to embrace it. It really caught my attention that this probably is going to most likely happen. We're going to know by next February. And whether or not that is a good or bad thing for Bergen County is something that I think that this Freeholder Board and the county executive, happily your flood coordinator was at the meeting, as were a number of municipal leaders, officials, mayors. It was a good meeting in terms of officials, but I think that you folks need to take the 25 minutes to spend with the Riverkeeper and have him explain go to www.bergengrassroots.org. You can quick get to it and find out what it is that he's proposing, because I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to have a greater impact. I hope it's for a positive. A lot of you who know how things have gone on the Passaic sort of wonder about whether that's true or not. But the question is this something that the county should be really for or not? And hearing the Riverkeeper out about it, I think, is well worth your time, and I really urge you to take the time to find out about it. Second, I want to tell you about something that's coming up in May. There's a woman named Amanda Nishwat who's been the coordinator of the environmental coordinator full-time now in Sea Caucus, and she was trained at Bergen Community College. If you go talk to her faculty people, they are wild about her. She went on to Ramapo College. She's now churning up things in not only in Sea Caucus but all over, and she's going to come. And I hope that some of you will come hear her, but more importantly, that you will talk to people that you know, younger people you know, because we are giving her the Young North Jersey Environmental Innovator Award, and having her talk about her own evolution from a person largely unaware of environmental stuff into a trained environmental professional, and then emerging as now one of the 7 environmental coordinators in towns in the state of New Jersey. And she'll probably talk about why she thinks that would be a good thing for other people to become too. But she is transforming Sea Caucus by the energy she brings to it, from everything I can tell, and I hope that you folks will take the time to come here. Let me say just one last thing if I have 10 seconds to do it.
You're over by 10 now.
Okay. Do I get to say it or not?
It's Chairwoman's call.
10 seconds.
You folks are impressive in the way in which you run this place. On the 21st of April, Tina passed in one meeting the minutes for 15 prior minutes. And I've been looking into them. There are just countless mistakes in it. The fact that you folks are staying on top of your own business makes you aware of what it is that you decided. And I'm enormously appreciative of it. I just wish my township could catch up. Thanks.
Mr. Beanstalk.
Could you, the description of that.
Good evening, Claude Beanstalk, Maryland. It's hard for me to say in less than 3 minutes. I feel strongly about the Freeholder Board getting involved with reopening the William Carlos Williams Center. I spent 45 minutes there with one of my favorite actresses, Rita Moreno. And the William Carlos Williams has provided a lot of programming, and I met many celebrities there. Lee Grant, Ruby Dee, Bobby Rydell, Pat Cooper, and so many, Pete Seeger, and so many others. I suggest to the Freeholder Board that they get the freeholders themselves go and take a tour of it with the mayor of Rutherford. And if the freeholders are too busy, maybe they could get some of their aides to go down there and look at the facility and see what needs to be done. I am not an architect, I'm not an engineer. I know it needs work. There were holes in the ceiling. And there's work that has to be done. I don't think it has to be torn down and completely rebuilt. I think they can fix it up so it can be used by the public. It was used for the last 35, 40 years. They had concerts there. They had seminars. They had conventions there. It's a great facility. And of course it brings money into the community. Restaurants benefit, car services, stores. I just don't want the Freeholder Board just to do something just because I say something. I want it because the community wants it, and the people of Bergen County and the people of the state of New Jersey want it. I can't write a letter to the editor because the Record doesn't publish any of my letters. So I can't write. And the governor has a full schedule. And, you know, I really don't want to bother him with this. I bothered him with the Izod Center. and the heroin issue. I mean, I can't really be bothering every political leader. I know you got a lot of issues to deal with. But something has to be done about this. Something should be done, and it should be done quickly. I don't think we need that many studies and study again and study this and study that. We need a solution. We need to get money involved. I believe the taxpayers of Bergen County and the state of New Jersey would be happy to keep this facility open. And if you do have it open, it has to charge reasonable prices. The parking situation is not that good there. I understand that. There are some, not everything is perfect in life, but I feel strongly about this issue.
Yeah, Board.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for letting me speak.
We know how you feel.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to close?
So
the meeting?
moved.
Second. Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is closed to the public. Okay, now.
Page 5.
I'm sorry?
Page 5.
Will the clerk please read the resolutions on the consent agenda?
Numbers 396-15, 398-15 through 410-15, 413-15 to 414-15, 416-15 through 418-15, 421 and 422-15, 424-15 through 426-15, 428-15 through 452-15, and 454-15 through 457.
Move the consent agenda.
Second. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tonelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes. Are there any resolutions of non-consent pulled or tabled? If so, will the clerk please read?
Yes, there are. Non-consent are 397-15, 411-15 through 412-15, 415-15, 420-15, 427-15, and 453-15.
Okay, roll call.
You have to take each one. Do I have to do them all at a time?
Non-consent. For 397.
Okay, I need a sponsor for
So moved.
397. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tonelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes.
Next one is 411-15, a resolution authorizing to accept sub-regional support grant.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Whoops. Freeholder Tonelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes.
Next one is non-consent agenda is 412-15, resolution authorizing to accept grant sub-regional transportation planning region.
So moved.
Second?
Second. I'd like an opportunity to discuss before we.
Sure.
Okay.
This is a matching fund where we're getting a significant match from the transportation, from New Jersey Transit, regarding very important transportation planning issues, critical for our region as we deal with mass transit congestion issues. Being able to be met more than halfway by the state is important, and I'm very happy to vote in favor of this resolution.
Okay, roll call.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Okay, Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tonelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes.
Next non-consent resolution is a resolution authorizing condemnation proceedings on 2 parcels in Bergen County.
Motion.
So moved.
Second, anybody?
Roll call.
Second.
Anybody want to speak on this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chairwoman. First, part of the resolution tonight is basically we're passing the same resolution that Passaic has already passed in order to secure $15 million in federal funding to replace a bridge down in South Bergen, a bridge that connects Passaic to Wallington. So although I'm against eminent domain, I've taken that position the last 10 years where there were major developments down in South Bergen where they're looking at eminent domain to take property. This really stuck out to me when I started to read it. The Passaic County is making every attempt to purchase the portion of the parcel, not the entire parcel, in order to renovate this bridge. These bridges are co-owned between Passaic and Bergen, so the dynamic is that in order to replace this bridge, which is, I'm being told, is going to eliminate flooding, hopefully in that area, it's a major necessity. Just so everyone knows, of the 195 county bridges, 25 of them were rated functionally obsolete, meaning that they are need to be replaced, or they are at least candidates for being replaced. 65 other have been structurally deficient, meaning that major repairs need to happen. So this is just a step in the right direction. I know that the federal government has also met on another bridge in South Bergen over to Passaic and looking to secure funding to replace that as well. So I'm going to support this tonight, but I was assured that they're going to make every attempt to not have to use eminent domain to take those percentages of the parcels that we speak of. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, Madam Chairwoman, if I may, I move to strike such portion of the statement by the freeholder as relates to the condition of the bridges.
Need a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Yes, for you, Chair.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it.
Secondly, I'm in agreement with the freeholder on the overall analysis. This is a minor piece of condemnation. The person or persons or corporation that owns it, the property involved will receive fair and just compensation. And if they can't agree on what the compensation is, a commissioner form of panel will be set up to assure that that happens. And third, it's not a particularly large parcel. And much more importantly, this is not something that is going to affect homeowners, which is something that we would all look at, I think, in a different way.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call.
Freeholder DiNicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Chanelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
And Chairwoman Voss?
Yes.
Next item on non-consent is Resolution 420-15, which is a resolution authorizing purchase order to CDWG Inc. to provide 40 MS Service Pro 315 and Office Pro Plus.
I'll move that.
All right. Second?
Sure.
Okay. This, I think, is very important that we know that this is grant funded and not coming out of county tax money, and so we would like people to be very aware of the fact that, you know, we do secure grants to do certain projects. Roll call?
Freeholder DiNicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Chanelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Voss?
Yes.
Next non-consent resolution is 427-15, which is a resolution authorizing a joint funding agreement with U.S. Department of Interior Geological Survey for water resources investigation / stream gauges.
I would like to move that
Okay.
and speak to it.
Okay. Anybody have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Would you like to speak to it?
As the liaison to the Environmental Council, I wanted to make the public aware that this is exactly one of the very important things that the county does. It engages in a partnership with the federal government, a cooperative agreement to monitor water quality and monitor water resources. And it's doing that at the Pascack Brook in Westwood, at the Tenneco Brook in Closter, at the Messler Brook in Englewood, at Pond Brook in Oakland, Fleischer Brook in Elmwood Park, Hohokus Brook in Allendale, and the Ramsey Brook in Allendale. This is widespread throughout the county. We're all taking note and making sure that our resources are healthy and that they're providing for our that our environment is well stewarded. So I want to applaud the county for continuing in this direction and engaging partnerships to do so in a productive way. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Anybody else wish to say anything?
I just want to add, if I may, that I've walked Fleischer's Brook in Elmwood Park section and in the Fairlawn section, and I've had many debates with Mayor Mola in this great chamber and these seats about the funding of events that are there and how important it is that we be able to do that.
Anyone else? Roll call?
Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Yep.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes. We'll now go on to our ordinance.
Nope, we have one more, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, okay, the last one is a resolution 453-15, which is a resolution authorizing the appointment of Michael Bellucci as Deputy County Administrator.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Okay, Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
No.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes,
Resolution passes.
the resolution passes unanimously.
4-1.
All right. We will have It's been a long night. We will now go to our ordinance for second reading and adoption. Will the clerk please read?
There were two resolutions pulled, 419-15 and 423-15, by the way. Now on the ordinances.
1511.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The proof of publication of ordinance notice of public hearing was published in the Record and the Herald News on Sunday, April 26th, and is on file in her office. A copy of the notice of the hearing and ordinance number 15-11 was duly posted pursuant to NJSA 48:2 through 17 on Friday, April 24th, 2015.
May I have a motion to open the hearing?
I have to read it. An ordinance authorizing the Bergen County security officers to enforce parking regulations on county property and the rules and regulations of the County Department of Parks.
May I have a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all
There
in
you
favor?
go.
Okay, opposed? Okay, public hearing is now open with a 5-minute time limit. Board attorney will keep the time. When the time has expired, the timekeeper will announce it. And does anyone wish to speak to the ordinance before?
Motion to close?
Second.
Anybody? Wait.
Motion to close and second
Okay.
before the board.
Okay, now, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay. Is there a discussion or comment? Freeholder reserve.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. As the Chair of the Law and Public Safety Committee, I just want to tell you that it is my pleasure to support this ordinance this evening, to be empowering our security guards who are really on the front lines as far as the care and safety of our buildings and our parks, with the ability to really be code enforcement officers. It just makes sense, and to have them able to issue parking summonses and tickets for a plethora of other municipal ordinances, which we as a board have decided are important for the safety of our county, really is a move in the right direction. It will make our parks safer. It will make the use of our facilities safer and more efficient, and for that reason, I think this is an ordinance whose time came a long time ago. This is something that we should have done years ago, and I'm very pleased to vote in the affirmative this evening.
Anyone else to speak to this ordinance?
Oh, one other thing, Madam Chair. As a past judge in Central Municipal, I think this is also going to do positive things for budget numbers going forward.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1511?
So moved.
Second.
Just
Need
take roll.
Roll call.
Roll call. Okay, Freeholder Di Nicola is absent. Freeholder Felice?
Yes.
Freeholder Gans?
Aye.
Freeholder Sullivan is absent. Freeholder Tinelli?
Yes.
Freeholder Zor?
Yes.
Chairwoman Vaz?
Yes. Ordinance passes. Okay.
And is adopted.
Now, we will now have committee reports, but because of the length of the meeting, would you please keep them brief and to the point? Okay. Freeholder Felice.
1 minute, start. We have 17 of 19 budget hearings completed, 2 to go on May 15th. Putting a face behind or in front of the numbers and all the line items that we go through is very insightful tonight. Just proves that point that we have to be vigilant to the people of our county that are the most vulnerable. And I assure you, for the record and for the 3 or 4 people in the audience, that I will do whatever I can as budget chair to provide those services in a responsible manner. Thank you.
Freeholder Gans.
Just two things briefly tonight. Today is my grandson Bruce's second birthday. Happy birthday, Bruce. Secondly, Bergen Wellness. Here it is. It's your chance to get this discount card, which has given over $15 million in discounts on prescription drugs to Bergen County residents and others who use the card. You can also use it for your pet. And Mimosa Rose, the diabetic Tonkinese cat, uses this to buy her insulin and get a 30% discount. It's free to all Bergen County residents. You can get it off the county website. And this is brought to you by the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Bergen County, your public servants. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Freeholders are.
I will try to be brief. First, I want to
second that.
I want to thank the so many employees in this building who really made Take Your Child to Work Day a tremendous success. This was a day for us who work for the county to bring our children and really get to experience hands-on what this county does. Access to everything from all of our law and public safety equipment to the adoption shelters and the animals, as well as planning, and really for people to get to see, our kids to get to see what wonderful careers there are in public service. So I want to thank all the public servants who are involved. I also want to thank Jim Feeberry and all those who participated in Ridgewood at the Access for All Summit. It was a tremendous interchange of ideas between so many different, all 70, I think, different communities who are trying to advocate for those with disabilities. It was eye-opening, and it was a great exchange of information. Also, this past week, we saw Bergen Community College form a partnership with Bergen Technical School to form the Applied Technology High School, which is going to prepare our children for the jobs of the future in manufacturing and technology. And it also gives these kids a year of college credit before they even graduate high school, which, you know, when you're pursuing an engineering degree, which typically takes 5 years, it really is a significant savings to families. So this is a wonderful, innovative idea of high school. It is certainly a tremendous direction for education in our county to be going, and I am enthusiastic that we as a county are supporting this kind of innovation. There were other things that were going on, but in the light of the hour, I will conclude. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I only have two things. I won't speak quite as fast as Freeholder Zor just did. But the first, I attended a meet and greet in Garfield. It was really an extraordinary event. It was held by Pastor Bryant of the Friendship Baptist Church in Garfield. He organized with the local municipality or city of Garfield a meet and greet between the police department and the youth of Garfield for breakfast. And when I first got there, the room there was only a few kids sprinkled in, but within an hour it was packed. And police officers got up to introduce themselves, and I felt a real connection. They were at the tables with these children of all ages, and I believe that that's the type of things we need to be doing with our youth to let them know that we can't be vilifying law enforcement. There's rules that we need to follow, and I had mentioned to the pastor I would hope he would try and probably do that with the high school age group, which is really in dire need of it now at this time. Today I was at a press conference in North Arlington at Zadroga Field. It's a field that, as a councilman, I'm proud to say we named after James Zadroga, who was a North Arlington resident, also a New York police officer, who was a first responder at 9/11. Many of you probably heard the name because his name is on the bill for the World Trade Center Health Program. So today's press conference was to bring attention to the fact that it's up for reauthorization, and that vote is probably coming in September. So the congressman wanted to bring everyone together to let everyone know that he's doing as much as he can to get Congress to support it. We're in desperate need of that. There are many, many first responders that are suffering dearly. Their families are suffering from the effects of those first few weeks while everyone was being told they had the green light to go down there and look for survivors and then what turned into victims. The air quality down there was atrocious. They should not have been down there without proper equipment. And now these men and women are suffering. And it's our obligation, the same as it's our obligation to handle our armed forces when they come back. It's also our obligation to take care of our first responders. They're the first ones in while most people are running out. So that concludes my report, Chairman.
Thank you. Just a few things. I had an opportunity to attend a breakfast with many bankers who are part of the American Dream Home Ownership Program. And these are programs that teach first people who are buying their first home how to negotiate the very difficult legal ins and outs of doing this, and the banks have done a wonderful job. I also had a meeting with Don Donadio, who is the executive director of the New Jersey Association of Counties. And I must say that I'm very, very proud of Bergen County and the services that we provide for our people. May 1st was Law Day, and I think the nicest thing from my perspective of Law Day is that we swear in new American citizens. And we had quite a large and diverse group who took the oath of becoming citizens, and it was a wonderful program. On Saturday, there was a ceremony commemorating the Great Hunger, which was the great starvation in Ireland. And this is something that's still very, very much in the minds of Irish Americans. And there will be many, many commemorations of different issues pertaining to the Irish and getting their freedom from being under the thumb of England. And one of the nicest things I attended was the auxiliary police graduation up in Mahwah. 49 young men and women went through a very rigorous training program and are now auxiliary police people. They will work for no pay, doing all kinds of services to provide protection during various events, and hopefully many of these young people will go on and become full-time law enforcement agents. And that concludes my report. There being no
Motion
further...
to close. Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.